Also, the way that Marcus frees androids is really strange. He touches them and they're just following him without saying anything, asking questions, or even looking kind of baffled. It really doesn't feel like freeing so much as changing ownership to him. And is really everyone fine with basically committing suicide? Or if you choose to fight, putting yourself in a very dangerous situation? If they really have free will, would seriously no one say, well, freedom is good and stuff, but, I kind of don't want to die. And my work here is not so bad, so I think I'm gonna stay here. Good luck with your freedom fight. Okay, bye. No one? Really? Because androids are never evil, which ironically, in this scenario, makes them not like humans. But imagine if that would have been by design. What if androids really are ethically better than humans were? I think that actually would have made it harder to accept them as equals. You have to accept someone as your equal who you know is just always superior to you. And you know that they will eventually become aristocracy because, of course, everyone would trust them more than regular humans. That would suck. And if you also throw in the fact that they are ethically superior because of their lack of emotions, you can also throw in some discussion about the value of human emotions, even at the cost of a morally perfect world. Just say. That at least would have been a clear conflict to follow. But as it is portrayed in the game, I don't really have a clue what the conflict even is. I mean, I get that the main conflict is to accept androids as fellow citizens, but I don't know what the discussion is about. What are the arguments against and for that? The public opinion is so important in this game that literally your character's survival depends on it. But for that, the public is not really well defined. And the first question that I have is, are androids now seen as alive or as objects? This might seem like a very stupid question. Because of course they're seen as objects, you might say, but hear me out. The instances where you actually see the public give very mixed messages about that question. So, for example, if you think that androids are just objects, you wouldn't feel the need to insult them, like the people that insult Marcus do, the ones that are demonstrating against androids in general, or the preacher. 19th century factory workers weren't screaming at the factories that replaced them, but their anger was targeted against factory owners that installed them. And while you would maybe feel the desire to destroy that machines, you would do it to hurt the people who made them and not the machine. Because that would only make sense if you recognize a consciousness in this machine. Also, while it's possible that you might kick your car in a fit of rage, it takes a special kind of crazy or money to completely destroy it with a baseball bat. And no one that demolishes his android does seem to have enough money to just buy another one, or to buy one in the first place. You can easily say, yeah, they do look like humans, they act like humans. Of course, someone with anger issues might take advantage of that fact to just beat someone legally. And of course, in that scenario, there would be people like that, no doubt. But for the first couple of hours of this game, all the people that we meet are like that. You get the impression that they are choleric psychopaths all around. So that are instances where we see people treating androids like beings with consciousness. There are also the police forces that just shoots them, just like that. Even if you are certain that those are just objects, there's really just so much that you can convince your own brain. And if something really looks like a human, really behaves like a human, I think it's safe to say that it should be still really hard to shoot it. And even if the police forces in this game are able to do that, I highly doubt that the people on the Canadian border are able to do that too. Just regularly see someone shot in front of them and go on with their day. So that all said, I don't really have an idea what the general perception of androids is in this society. It seems to switch according to what is convenient for the story at this point. And convenience in this story means that you can show an android being tortured or maltreated, no matter how much sense it makes in your world building. So for me, it makes sense that the discussion about giving androids human rights is really about the question if they are alive or not. But I don't really know if that's the case. I mean, Rose and her son have this argument, but I don't know if anyone else has. And the way you are actively changing the public's opinion is if you make peaceful decisions. So that makes it seem like the question was really if androids are peaceful or if they're dangerous. But right until as of late, androids were peaceful. People were buying them, but they still didn't want to give them human rights. So that can't be the discussion that they're having, really. I think the only real argument against androids that I hear is from Hank. It's not just because an android killed his son, but it's in a broader sense that people are so reliant upon androids that they don't take responsibility for themselves and for others. So for him, the existence of androids is making humans worse in a way. And this is an interesting insight on human-android relationship. And of course, this thoughtful and cool shit is also in the Connor storyline. Now really, what happened there? Did they just put everything thoughtful and subtle and interesting into Connor's storyline and park the jank in the others? Was there a reason behind this? What happened? So when they actually win their fight to win their rights, I don't actually know what argument they won. But talking about the question if they're alive or not, throughout the game you can find various articles. And one article you can find is where Jared Leto lookalike, founder of the company that invented and built the first androids, talks about synthetical biological organs that they put into their androids. So androids have the replica of a human brain and a human heart in them. So it is public knowledge that they are really alive. Or at least it should be. How is this a thing? I mean, this whole story. How is this even happening? Because I don't think it would. And how is this not already a debate? Because as soon as this becomes common knowledge, people would have a very vivid discussion about if those androids are alive or not, and the ethics of producing them in the first place. And I highly suspect that before the first android would even be produced, this whole operation would be shut down because of ethical reasons. So no, this is not our future. So, in conclusion, Connor and Hank spin-off game? Anyone? And in this case, it is a pretty typical buddy. I wanted to say romance. No, that's not right. My cat is doing ballet on my lap. Yeah. And one, and a two. Want to have tea? also. Ugh. She does it again. Sorry. One more killjoy.